What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Gorilla, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, the show for September 9th, 2020. This will be your AEW Dynamite results with Excalibur, good old JR Jim Rose, and Tony Schiavone on the show. And they were at Jacksonville, Florida, in Daily Place. I'm sorry, folks. Oh man, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, this I'm gonna get ready to start this show right here, folks. This is the fallout of All Elite Wrestling's All Out pay-per-view from 2020. So here we go. Let's get to it. We get Tony Schiavone open up the show at the parking lot, and all of a sudden, at the same time, Chris Jericho and MJF are arriving, and they put themselves over. They should have won their matches at All Out, and all of a sudden they start leaving, and then we see a split screen of following both of them separately, and then saying each other onto each other, saying, "What a loser." Why am I talking like that? I don't know. I'm just having fun. But anyways, so we get the Lucha Brothers, Penta El Zero M and Rey Fenix versus the Jungle Express. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus being accompanied by Monko Stuntgrove, and by the way, the Lucha Bros are being accompanied by Eddie Kingston, the Butcher, and the Blade. Okay, that's enough of that. So basically, folks, this was a very good tag team match to open the show. It was very good. In the end, it was the Jurassic Express getting the win after a miscommunication of the Lucha Bros when Penta El Zero M gives him a Mexican Destroyer to his own brother Rey Fenix, and with Jungle Boy capitalizing on the win for Jungle Express to win. I mean Jurassic Express to win. Sorry, folks. Just having fun here. Why did I decide to do that? I had no idea. But don't be shocked if I keep on doing this. So Rey Fenix shoves Pentagon Jr., who's not happy about the ending of the match. Also, the Butcher and the Blade holds both of them back, and then we get Eddie Kingston get on the microphone and okay, this is where it gets real here. He says, "Yo, stop it," and he says they should be running this place, because what happened? There was 5 of us in the Casino Battle Royale. We should have won. And Eddie Kingston says that the one person who's not here right now, he's over in the UK. He's not here to help you. And they mentioned something about the Blade's wife. She's not here to help either. Where it pertains to the Butcher and the Blade, which I still understand that whole thing, folks. Where it pertains to why all of a sudden Allie is no longer with the Butcher and the Blade. There was no story of it, nothing that they did. Or why Allie is no longer with the Butcher and the Blade, and she ends up being with QT Marshall and the Nightmare Family. And I'm glad Eddie Kingston decided to bring it up, because what the hell, like what was the reason of this whole thing? We don't know any explanation of it. I thought AEW would be different from WWE with that whole thing, but no, we haven't got any of that. But back to the whole thing with Pac. Yes, Pac is overseas. The pandemic is preventing him to travel back to America to do AEW. But yeah, it's basically Eddie Kingston stirring the pot and everything, and he's doing a good job at it. So he basically wants Penta and Phoenix to shake hands. Penta shoves away Phoenix, and then Eddie Kingston convinced them to shake hands at the end of the day, and they did. And then Eddie Kingston says that he was never eliminated from the Battle Royale. So like, at first watching it, I said to myself, "What's he talking about?" I could swear he was eliminated. I could swear he went over the top. And then I looked back at it, and it was true. He was never eliminated from the Battle Royale. He was never went over the top. So, in a way, it was kind of clever how they did this, because I didn't see anything of how he got eliminated by being thrown over the top. So that was very smart there. That it was all by design. This was all by design. So I think eventually, Eddie Kingston will get his opportunity somewhere down the line after Lance Archer. But speaking of Lance Archer, by the way, the promo Action did was pretty good, as always, pretty damn good. The faction called All Lives Can't Matter until Black Lives Matter. I'm just kidding. That's not the name of the faction. I actually don't know the name of the factions actually, but whatever. But then we get to Jake the Snake Rabbits and the Murdoch Monster, Lance Archer. They tell John Moxley that they are here to trash people because they like it. He says that Moxley is going to piss himself when they get a hold of him. And then Lance Archer says that Moxley has nothing but despair to look forward when the time comes when Lance Archer meets him in the ring. He continues in the end, he's going to be the champion because everybody dies. Anyways, by the way, I didn't mention this too, by the way. I didn't get a chance to talk about this too from the last edition of Dynamite, with Jake Roberts cutting the promo. I didn't also say something about getting nuts like squirrels and then busting a nut, busting nuts like that. It was something that Jake Roberts said on the line where I didn't get to mention that, so I wanted to bring it up because I thought it was funny too, when he mentioned nuts and busting nuts. Yeah, it's very different from the PG WWE. Just saying. But yeah, either way, good promo on the build up between Lance Archer and Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. That's gonna be that has been announced. Where it's gonna happen. And I'll get to that later. We get to Matt Hardy to give us an update about what happened with him. He heads to the ring, and the crowds are going crazy for Matt Hardy. And Matt Hardy says that he suffered a scary fall at All Out, and that the outpouring of love has been humbling. And says that after a bunch of tests, he'll take a 100% recovery. I mean, he'll make a 100% recovery. I meant to say, excuse me. He said he's lucky. He's got his a wife here. Rebby Hardy was thrown in the crowd with their third born child, son, by the way. He says that he basically says hi to his other boys at home and apologized for putting them through what happened over the weekend, and then apologized for the match, apologized to the fans, and says that it wasn't what he wanted it to be, but maybe it's a good thing his feud with Sammy Guevara is over, because when he comes back, when he gets healthy, when he gets cleared, he wants to win matches, and he wants to go after the AEW World Title. And he says thank you to the fans. He gives his wife a wave, and Matt Hardy's at this point he goes away. Good for Matt Hardy. And let's not fool around here. Let's not kid around here. Let's not try to hide it. Matt Hardy got hurt. He had a concussion. He may also have a fractured skull. He may have more than that after visiting the hospital after that scary fall he had. So yeah, hopefully he gets better. So he should take the rest of 2020 off, and then come back in 2021. So there you go. So I wish you nothing but the best, Matt Hardy. Get a full speed recovery and come back to AEW pretty soon. Orange Cassidy versus Angelico, being accompanied by Jack Evans. Match itself it didn't last long, but it was of how long it lasted. It was a good match with Orange Cassidy getting the win. After the match, Orange Cassidy was attacked by Santana Ortiz, proud and powerful of the Inner Circle. Best Friends comes out for the save. Chuck Taylor gets a microphone and says that we need to end this. So next episode of next episode of Dynamite, Dynamite. It's gonna be a match that they should have a while back, before the pandemic hit. And they're gonna have a parking lot brawl. And Trent says, they're gonna shove that apology up their asses. that Santana sees, all the apologies that they made, they can shove up their asses and basically Trent saying, he's gonna make his mama proud, and that was it. And then the best friends goes for a hug with Orange Cassidy because you gotta get the people what they want. Just saying. Then we get to Alex Maivez backstage trying to get an interview with Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. Knocking on the door, but no response. All of a sudden, the door opened up, and then the Young Bucks went for the super kick party onto Alex Maivez. And Matt Jackson angrily shuts the door, and that was the last time we seen of the Young Bucks of the rest of the show. They didn't want to talk to anyone. They didn't want to, be, active in any kind. They just did that, and they went back into their dressing room. And we heard later on that they were fined, I believe, $100 or $500,000 for attacking, a non-wrestler, and that was it. Yeah, bring the voice back, by the way. Then we get to Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, what pertains to the whole announcing who's going to be Kip Sabian's best man for their wedding. And Tony Schiavone was there, but Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford sent Tony Schiavone out of here because they didn't want him to be there. They wanted to do it themselves. So they announced, they're getting married, and they announced that the best man for the wedding is here, and Kip Sabian introduced the best man, but instead of pointing at the direction of where the best man is going to come out, we get another one coming out from the other side of the entrance of Daily Place. And it was some fat guy who said that we all thought maybe he's the best man, but Kip Sabian said, no, you're not the best man, and said you're taking too much space, and I laughed at that because of that, and then he basically kicks him out, and then he announces the best man again, pointing in this direction of the best man coming out, but then also another person come out from this direction, and it was Brian Pillman Jr. Brian Pillman Jr. says, I honor to be a best man, and then Kip Sabian said, no, correction, he said you're the best, man, not saying you're the best man, and plus, I don't even like you, even though it makes no sense of how he said it too, and all, because you're texting him and everything, and you're saying he's the best, man, but and they say you don't like him, so why you have his number for? Why are you texting him for? And blah blah blah. And basically, I kicks Brian Pillman out. Brian Pillman looked distraught, and I see myself, well, this ain't the same Brian Pillman Jr. who's got the same genes like his father had, Brian Pillman. So he's not acting like the loose cannon like his father was. So all of a sudden he introduced the real best man, and the real best man comes out, and to be all serious now, folks, it was the former Rusev, who is Miro. So we get Miro making his AEW debut, and he says he says 10 years he's been in the same house. He kept reaching for that brass ring, but you can shove all that up and up your asses, basically. Basically taking shots at WWE, which I think it was great. They deserve every bit of it. So Miro says that, but basically he heard chants from crowds saying Miro Day, Miro Day, Miro Day. Since he can't be called Rusev anymore, since it can't be about Rusev Day anymore, it's Miro Day. And he says he kind of likes the sound of that, and says that he's not just the best man, but he is the best game on Twitch. And if people tune in on Dynamite, they will see him devour people. He is Miro, and he is all elite. The elite athlete Miro has arrived to AEW, and I couldn't be more happier. And the crowds were loving it. And obviously he's a heel with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Is he gonna be a heel long term? I don't know. Wait and see. So, but yeah, he looks good. He's got the Slim Shady hairstyle, the blonde style with it, he looks good though. He looks good. I'm glad he's in AEW, and he's gonna shove, his potential, his charisma, his personality. He's gonna shove his talent, his 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 untapped potential, and shove it in the face of WWE and shove it up their asses of what they missed out. Next, we get Chris Jericho and Jake Hager of the Inner Circle versus Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela in the no disqualification, no countouts tag team match. And the match itself was pretty damn good. Sonny Kiss looked good. Joey Janela looked good. Chris Jericho looked good. Jake Hager looked good. This tag team match overall looked good. But in the end, it was just Chris Jericho and Jake Hager winning the match. After the match, Chris Jericho gets a microphone, and the microphone was not working. And then he's like, "Give me a working microphone." And then he says, "Damn you, Justin Roberts." And then he says, they may have lost. The Inner Circle may have had a terrible night at All Out, but they, that's all in the past. And says that himself and Jake Hager will be winning matches, and they'll be on a higher food chain of the tag team division and become the next AEW World Tag Team Champions. And there you go. And that was it, basically. Then we get to MJF and his campaign crew, and says that Dictator John cheated to get the win at the pay-per-view, and says that the campaign is to blame and the campaign is now over. You're a failure. Basically, he fires everyone, and he says to Nina, "Oh, so now you're smiling? You're not decided to smile while I'm permission and all that?" And he's like, "Well, you could take your smiling without." I mean, yeah, basically, saying that, "Oh, now you're smiling," you know that, right? And it says that, well, you could take your disgusting smile and everything, all that, and he kicks her out, and she starts leaving crying, and I'm like, she deserved it. And she's and then MJF says to this guy who gives him his gum, thanks, and then and then Wardlow says, "Sir," and then MJF cuts him off and said, "Oh, so now I'm sir. What was that, sir, when you cost me the title my opportunity of becoming the AEW World Champion at All Out?" And then basically, berating Wardlow, and Wardlow gets mad and everything, and then MJF said, "Oh, what are you gonna do? May I remind you, I pay your paychecks, not Tony Khan, not AEW. I pay your paychecks, so you work for me. And if you decide to turn on me, disobey me, whatever, and everything, it's gonna be you and your family that's gonna suffer. So do we have a problem here?" And Wardlow says no, and he said, "Great, sounds great. Now he's got new plans now to work on, and we'll find out what that new plan's going to be." Great segment from MJF. He's always carries the segments with his promos and everything, and his mannerism. He's so good at this. Now, I got to call out something here, because it kind of makes no sense that MJF will say that to Wardlow, that AEW doesn't that he doesn't work for AEW, that he works for him. Well, let's say this: MJF, he does work for Wardlow, but I remember the venues. I mean, the vignettes they did for it wasn't much of a vignette. I think about two of them, maybe about two of them. They promoted Wardlow, right? That he's coming to AEW. So it kind of doesn't make sense that MJF will say that he doesn't work for AEW when the Wardlow was being hyped up last year by AEW. I don't know. It's the same thing. It was also, well, I can't say the same thing, but it's kind of compared to Magnus in TNA, where he has Abyss working for him, and he's not working for TNA. The whole storyline was bogus and garbage anyway. It made no sense in a way. So, but with AEW here, that they're not making things too complicated in a way. So, but it's whatever. Then we get to the AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley. He says if he didn't already have enough on his plate, now Lance Archer is the #1 contender. And Moxley says that it's not getting any easier, but it never does. He continues on the only way to be AEW champion is to climb through a mile of crap and then a mountain on the other side. Moxley feels like he is unstoppable, Actually, I don't know if he's talking about himself or Lance Archer, but either way, he says Moxley feels like he's unstoppable, and when it's time to come, when their path cross, does anybody really want to be want to bet against Moxley? And that was it. So it was a good promo from Jon Moxley, and there you go. As always, good promo from Jon Moxley. Then we get to the AEW World Tag Team Championship celebration with FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, and Tully Blanchard. They're on the ring celebrating with other tag teams surrounding the ring like SCU, the Gun Club, Jungle Express. Jurassic Express, excuse me. I don't remember if Serpentico and Luthor was there. Can't remember the other tag teams that were there too. I hate Marcus Stone Cold being there, by the way. But anyways, so Tully Blanchard says that FTR are the greatest tag team champions in the world. Says that it was 117 degrees in the ring when they went 30 minutes to win the tag belts. Wheeler says the tag team division in AEW is the deepest in the world. Wheeler says that it was an honor to wrestle SCU, and can't believe what it would have been like if they were in their primes 20 years ago. To face them, and they would have faced the top guys in AEW. Then they turn to Billy, says that he is a legend, a multi-champion, and says that don't think being in some second-rate Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame, second-rate Hall of Fame. I love that way. Another shot at WWE. That he and his snot-nosed kid will jump ahead in line for a shot. And then he said, and then Jurassic Express, who eventually head into the basically ripping on Joker Express, basically, being a joke tag team. And then the Joker Express gets in the ring, and FTR says, "Well, hold on. This celebration is instead, it's supposed to be a celebration, not a fight and everything." And he says, let's toast to the dumbass dinosaur. And they poured drink on the dinosaur, and they ran away. All of a sudden, they were confronted by these tag teams from outside the ring. And then Jurassic Express dumps like coolers, whatever, onto FTR. Toy Blanchard almost got into it as well, but FTR is leaving. And it was announced that FTR will face Jurassic Express in a non-title match. And if Jurassic Express wins, then they get a shot against FTR, which I don't ever like that, by the way. But we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens. Hopefully FTR wins, because it'll be the same booking that AEW is doing with WWE booking. With if you beat the champion, you get a shot against the champion in the future. Which it should be done in a different way, like how New Japan does it. But anyways, Taz joins on commentary. He recapped about Ricky Starks and Brian Cage beating up on Darby Allin at the Casino Battle Royale, also on Darby Allin's music hits, and it was Ricky Starks dressing up like Darby Allin once again, and says he finally got hurt and now he can't skateboard with his friends, basically mocking Darby Allin. And he says there's a reason why nobody wants to tag with Darby Allin and why he's sitting at home alone hurt. It's because he's reckless. He continues, that the next time that Darby Allin shows up in the AEW, he's gonna beat him up, beat his ass, and there you go. Good promo there from Darby Allin, and not Darby Allin. Well, I guess you could say he's Darby Allin because he basically looks like Darby Allin. But good promo from Ricky Starks, as he's always good. So, it's good. I'm assuming it's gonna lead to a program, building up for Full Gear between Darby Allin and Ricky Starks. So we'll see. Next we get to Tay Conte versus the Native Beast, Nyla Rose, being accompanied by Vicky Guerrero, because you have to excuse her. But anyways, maybe real talk here. Ty Conti came out there looking emotional, and good for her. I'm happy for her because fuck WWE for not doing shit with her and not taking her seriously as a competitor that she wanted to she wanted to be taken seriously as a competitor because of her fighting background. So I'm glad that Tay Conti got the opportunity to wrestle for AEW, and I'm thankful for AEW for giving her that contract on that night. That's why she got emotional out there, because she's now all elite with AEW, and I couldn't be more happier and more proud for her, and to be part of this company, to be to help build up the women's division of what they're missing. And Tay Conti can help the women's division, dearly, not just with Thunder Rosa, but but Tay Conti is one of those women that could be taken seriously too, and she's improved a lot too. She has improved a lot, and she showed it against Nyla Rose here, because this match was pretty good. Tay Conti was taking it to Nyla Rose, getting a lot of offense onto Nyla Rose, and people were I'm seeing people on on Twitter were in awe that Tay Conti is getting the upper hand and the offense onto Nyla Rose. And I see myself, I'm basically saying to myself, y'all shouldn't be shocked, because y'all shouldn't be surprised, because if you know who Tay Conti is, you know of her fighting background, it should not be any surprise at all to anyone. If anything, I'm glad she got the offense onto Nyla Rose, because Tay Conti is a legit fighter. She's got a legit fighting background. So to me, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that she got the offense on Nyla Rose of it. Now I knew she wasn't gonna win, and sure enough, that's what happened here. Nyla Rose went for her beast bomb, but yeah, Tay Conti got put up a good fight, but in the end, it wasn't. It came up short, because Nyla Rose doesn't win the match either way. After the match, Vicky Guerrero starts calling a promo saying, "Excuse me, excuse me," and says that they said Vicky Guerrero said that they are here to make a statement and aren't going anywhere. They are the vicious vixen, and basically they was gonna take out Tay Conti, but then we get the AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida coming up with the candlestick and holding back the number one contender Nyla Rose. Yeah, basically Nyla Rose is the number one contender. So there you go. Okay, so the Young Bucks were actually fined $5,000 instead of 100,000 and 500,000. Yeah, so basically it was 5,000. That's what it was. They were fined because of what they did to Alex Marvez. Oh yeah, also I forgot, I just skipped this, by the way. They've been hyping up on this show that Cody Rhodes is gonna make an announcement in a bit, and we'll get to that at the end of this review. You got good old JR Jim Russ. Oh wait, wait a minute. Where's the Tony Schiavone interview with Hangman and the Page? I could swear it was here. Unless I skipped it. Oh, here it is. It happened after the segment of Miro making his debut. I apologize, folks. So let me get back to this before I get to the interview that Jim Ross had with Kenny Omega. So Tony Schiavone had a sit-down interview with the Hangman and the Page and asked the Hangman how's he doing, and he says he's feeling good. Minus his ribs banged up and everything, but he's doing good. Tony asks, Tony basically doesn't want to stock answers, but he really wants to know what's going on with the whole thing with that's been going on, with the Elite, and says that the show had had fans there for 30 minutes, and he didn't hear a sound, and like everyone was holding their breath. he felt like everyone was waiting for him and Kenny Omega to fall apart. Says that FTR shouldn't have even been the number one contenders, but it was his fault for causing the Young Bucks the match, and it was his fault that he lost two friends, and basically and then Tony Schiavone brings up Kenny Omega walking away from the Hangman after the match and leaving the building. It says that they won a bunch of matches before. Now it's just a matter of climbing back up the mountain, just like they did before, and they will they'll get through it again. And that was the set that interview. It was decent, I'll say, to say the least. Then we get to Jim Ross sit down interview with Kenny Omega. He basically asked him what about what happened over that weekend. And Kenny Omega says that when you've done this for 20 years, you win big belts. I mean, you win belts and lose belts. Omega says that him and Hangman, they have chemistry in the ring, and that's why he couldn't say no to working with him. The former Chance says that they were expressions of expectations of him being the ace of the company, and I'm expecting, that's what I meant to say, expecting him to be the being the ace of the company and the first singles champion. That didn't happen, and he lost his way until he found Hangman and the Page. Jim Ross asked, "What's next for Kenny Omega?" And Omega says that the tag team division is really tough, but if Hangman wants to go for a rematch, he should rethink those plans, because Kenny Omega is planning on is leaving the tag team division to move on to the singles division, and that's basically it. So Hangman had his own plans with Kenny Omega, but Kenny Omega thinks differently. Basically, disagreements in a way. So there's no more of that tag team, unfortunately. And there you go. Let's get to the matches that are scheduled for AEW Dynamite for the Thursday night or a Wednesday night, whichever night it's gonna be. We don't know for sure because of the freaking NBA playoffs. The schedule is ruining the AEW schedule. Anyways, here are the lineups here. Best Friends versus Proud and Powerful in a parking lot fight. FTR versus Jungle Express in a non-title tag team match. Thunder Rosa defends her NWA Women's World Championship title, versus Eva Lise. Chris Jericho and Jake Hager versus Private Petty. MJF will be in action against who? I don't know. Maybe it'll be a newcomer coming to AEW. But either way, we're gonna find out. And the Hangman Adam Page versus Frankie Kazarian. All that lineup for either AEW Thursday Night Dynamite, as if the NBA playoffs ends early, and we'll get AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite instead. But then we get to an announcement also on October 14th, the 1-year anniversary of AEW Dynamite. It'll be the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley versus the Murderhawk Monster Lance Archer, who will be accompanied by Jake the Snake Roberts in an AEW World Championship match. There you go. And I keep talking like this, like I'm in a stroke. Not really. I don't know why I even said it like that. Anyways, next we get to the main event. Brody Lee defends his AEW TNT Championship, being accompanied by John Silver versus the Natural Dustin Rhodes. Match began with Dustin Rhodes immediately attacking Brody Lee during the announcement by Justin Roberts, And they start fighting outside the ring. And at one point we had Brody Lee, had John Silver you know, pulling right here, and then also Dustin Rhodes kicks him, and I was started laughing crazy, seeing that kick that Dustin Rhodes get to John Silver. Match continues. Basically, an all-out brawl between Dustin Rhodes and Brody Lee from outside the ring, into the ring, outside the ring again, and into the ring again. This was a very good match. In the end, it was Brody Lee getting the win after so many blatant interferences from John Silver. And in the end, it was Brody Lee getting the win on Dustin Rhodes. I mean, how obviously it was Dustin Rhodes wasn't gonna win either way, but hey, still a good match though. But yeah, but Brody Lee, winner and still the AEW TNT champion, the exalted one, Mr. Brody Lee. After the match, the Dark Order comes out and celebrate as they took out QT Marshall and dragged him out and bumped him into the ring. Coco Cabana came out there, and Brody Lee sees Coco Cabana and was still mad at him for losing at the pay-per-view and starts to shove him out of the ring, and Evil Uno takes him away. I don't know, folks. This is confusing now, but whatever. And then Dusty Rhodes was picked up, and Brody Lee kicks him right in the balls. And that was it. That was the end of the show. End of that show, and I thought this edition of AEW Dynamite from September 9th, 2020 was pretty damn good. Tomorrow Wrestling for AEW Dynamite, the show from September 9th, 2019. 5 matches. And my overall showing for the show for AEW Dynamite from, again, September 9th, 2020, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. A very good, decent show coming off of AEW All Out. And basically, this was obviously the fallout for pertains to AEW All Out. And there you go. Alright, folks, so now for this for the announcement that Cody Rhodes and AEW was announcing after the show went off the air. Cody Rhodes was shown somewhere in some kind of venue. And then all of a sudden, he and the venue light starts to turn on. And at first, I thought to myself, maybe this could be AEW's their version of WWE's Thunderdome, right? And it turns out it wasn't. Especially a reality show that he's gonna be a part of. He's gonna be a judge along with Snoop Dogg, and I can't remember who else was the judge, and someone was the host, who's also gonna be the host of it. And this show is called Go Big Show, and no, not Big Show from WWE, not Paul White. Just the title of the name, Go Big Show, for any of these unique talents to come to the show and show their unique talents. And the winner will receive $100,000. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking about. $100,000. They'll win, basically. So yeah, there you go. That's the announcement there. Good for Cody Rhodes. That they're gonna be having. Oh, okay. Here we go. We're gonna have Cody Rhodes, Rosia Dawson, Dawson. Rocio Dawson. Sometimes I can't get her last name right, but Rosia Dawson. I'm pretty sure you know who she is. She's been with in the movie The Rundown with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. She's been in other movies too, like with Will Smith. I think the movie that Will Smith did was 7 Pounds, maybe. I can't remember if that was the movie or not. But yeah, Rosia Dawson. Jennifer Netties, I think that's how you say her name, maybe. Snoop Dogg is also a judge. So I guess it's 4 judges, maybe. Yeah, I guess what it is, 4 judges. And the host, Bert Kreischer, maybe? I don't know. But it's going to be coming soon on TBS. Am I going to watch the show? No. I'm being honest there. I mean, it looks good. The show looks good for those who wants to watch it. But am I gonna watch it because Cody Rhodes is on there? No. That's just the honest truth. But But hey, good for Cody Rhodes for doing something for being taking time away from AEW after that brutal beating they suffered from Brody Lee. Which, by the way, he looks fine, by the way. So there you go. So that being said, folks, I'm done. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time you're experiencing the Natural Born Thriller, yours truly, please hit that subscribe button. If you like what I did here on this AEW Dynamite review, give this a like. If you dislike what I did here on this AEW Dynamite review, give it a dislike. Either way, thank you for viewing. Spend your time, day and night, with yours truly, Natural Born Thriller. Hope you love the experience of Natural Born Thriller. So that being said, thank you for watching for It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. And that being said, stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself and everything that's going on in the world, wear your mask, live in peace for one another, God bless one another. Basically love one another as well. Live in peace and harmony for us all. I'm out here. Ta-ta for now.